Hi everyone, this is BB Sangmi and today I am going to discuss a problem of design of knuckle joint. Okay, so do subscribe for the upcoming videos of machine design. So here we have the given problem: design a knuckle joint for a tie rod of a circular section to sustain a maximum pull of 70 kN. The ultimate tensile and shearing strength of the pin material are 510 MPa and 369 MPa respectively. Take factor of safety is equals to 6. So here we have to design a knuckle joint on which axial pull type of load is applied with a magnitude of 70 kN, that is 70,000 Newton. Okay, let us see what we have in the problem. The P is given, which is 70,000 Newton. The ultimate tensile strength is of the pin material is 510 MPa, that is 510 Newton per mm square, and strength in shear is 369 MPa, that is 369 Newton per mm square, and given factor of safety is 6. So let us first of all calculate the permissible stresses. The permissible or allowable stresses are in tension by using the formula sigma T is equals to SUT, that is ultimate tensile strength, divided by factor of safety. So we have the value of SUT, which is 510, factor of safety is 6. So by calculation sigma T is 85 Newton per mm square. Similarly, we can calculate the shear stress, permissible or allowable shear stress, by using the formula tau is equals to SSY divided by factor of safety. So here SSY is nothing but yield strength in shear, and which is 396 megapascal, that is 396 Newton per mm square, and factor of safety is 6. So by calculation tau is 66 Newton per mm square. So make sure that according to design, whatever the induced stresses are there, the value of induced stresses for tension and for shear should not go or it should not be greater than the permissible or allowable stress in tension and shear. Okay, so first of all let us calculate the diameter of rod D, that is capital D. Okay, so here we can observe that the rod D is subjected to axial tensile force. So we know that after the application of force P, there will be a tensile stress get induced inside the rod. So sigma T is equals to P by A. Here P is the applied force, A is the cross sectional area. So cross sectional area is pi by 4 d raised to 4. Okay, so here cross sectional area of rod is pi by 4 d square. So we need to put the value of P, which is 70,000 Newton. We have the value of sigma T, permissible tensile stress is 85. So I'm going to write the formula in terms of D. It will be D is equals to 4P, root of 4P divided by pi into sigma T. So I'm going to put the value of P. Okay, so here P is 70 into 10 to 3, and sigma T, which is permissible stress in tension, is 85. Okay, so by calculation the diameter is 32.38. Okay, so I am going to round up it to the next digit of 33 mm. So here we have calculated the diameter of rod. Next is, now I am going to calculate the various dimensions according to the empirical relations. Okay, so next is the enlarged diameter D1. So as I have explained in the design procedure, that D1 is equals to 1.1 into D. So as per calculation, we have calculated the diameter of rod, which is 33 mm. So D1 is 37 mm. Okay, similarly I am going to calculate the thickness of single eye of rod, which is B. Okay, so we have to use the same thickness for the further calculation. So we know that as per the empirical relation, B is equals to 1.25 into diameter of rod. Okay, so here diameter of rod is 33 as per the calculation. The thickness of eye will be 41.25 mm as per the calculation, and I am going to round it to the next digit of 42 mm. Okay, here I have calculated the thickness of eye. It is 41.25, so I have rounded to the next digit 42 mm. Next is let us calculate the thickness of fork. It is represented by letter A, which is 0.75 into D. D is the diameter of rod. Okay, so by calculation it is 24.75. So I have rounded up to the next digit of 25 mm. So the thickness of fork is 25 mm. So these dimensions are required during the further design procedures. Okay, so we need to calculate these dimensions at the initial stage. Okay, next is I'm going to design the pin. Here, shear failure of pin. So here you can see that the possibility of failure of pin in shear because of the application of force of magnitude near about 70,000. Okay, 70,000 Newton. The middle portion of the pin which will be inside the eye, it will move towards the right side, and the upper and bottom portion of the pin which is get contained inside the fork, it will move towards the right side. So here left side. So here you can see that the double shear failure is there. So the induced shear stress tau is equals to P divided by 2A. Here area is multiplied by 2 because the double shear. Okay, so area of pin is A is equals to pi by 4 D square, where D is the diameter of pin. So I am going to put the value of A in this equation. Then equation will be tau is equals to P divided by 2 into pi by 4 D square. So this equation will be tau is equals to 2P divided by pi D square. So already we have the value of tau. We have calculated the permissible shear stress. Okay, also we have the value of P, which is 70,000. So we can calculate the diameter of pin in shear. Okay, so I will convert the equation in terms of D. So it will be D is equals to root of 2P divided by pi into tau. So let us put the value of P and tau in the given equation. D is equals to 2 into 70,000 divided by pi into 66. This is the permissible shear stress which we have calculated at the initial stage of the problem. So by calculation I found that the diameter of pin is 25.98. So I have rounded it to the next digit 26 mm. So here I am going to take the diameter of pin as a 26 mm. Okay, so also we know that the failure of pin in bending is also possible if the pin will fit, or if the assembly of pin, eye and fork, it will have the clearance fit. In that case there is a possibility of bending failure of pin. So let us calculate the diameter of pin according to the bending. So here I have shown the portion which will be inside eye. So this is the thickness of IB. Okay, on this portion, on this thickness, there will be a uniformly distributed load, and this is the thickness of eye this is the thickness of fork. Okay, so this portion it will be inside the fork, and on this portion I have assumed that there will be a uniformly varying load. Okay, so in the design procedure you can check that how the formula is derived. Okay, so here sigma B, as per the calculation, as per the derivation, sigma B is, that is induced bending stress in the pin is 16P divided by pi d cube multiplied by B by 4 plus A by 3. So here sigma B is the bending stress, P is the applied force which is 70,000 Newton, D is the diameter which is to be calculated, diameter of pin, B is the thickness of eye, and A is the thickness of fork. Already we have calculated the thickness of eye and thickness of fork. Okay, so let us convert this equation in terms of diameter of pin. D is equals to cube root of 16P divided by pi into sigma B into B by 4 plus A by 3. So right now we don't have the value of sigma B because in the problem sigma B is not given. If in the problem sigma B is not given, we can consider the value of sigma B is equals to the permissible tensile stress sigma T, because we know that during the bending few fibers are subjected to tensile stress also. Okay, so here sigma B is I'm going to assume that sigma B is equals to sigma T, because in the problem sigma B is not given, bending stress is not given, permissible bending stress is not provided. Okay, so here sigma B is equals to sigma T, which is equals to 85 Newton per mm square. So I'm going to put the value of sigma B in this equation. I have the value of P and I have the value of B and A, which is calculated in the previous slide according to the empirical relation. So let us put the value of P, B, A and sigma B in the equation. So 16 into cube root of 16 into 70,000, which is the applied force, divided by pi into 85. 85 is the permissible bending stress. B by 4. B is the thickness of I and A is the thickness of fork. So already we have calculated B, which the value of B is 42 mm and the value of A is 25 mm. So as per the calculation, I found that the diameter of pin is 42.906 mm. So I have rounded it to the next digit of 43 mm. So here I am going to take the diameter of pin 43 mm. So in the previous part, as we have seen that we have calculated the diameter of pin according to the shear, it is 26 mm, and according to the bending, the diameter of pin is 43 mm. So we have to select the maximum one. Okay, obviously the design will be safe for the maximum. Okay, according to diameter of pin, according to the shear is 26 mm and according to the bending 43 mm. So I am going to choose the maximum value 43 mm. So the next is for the selected diameter of pin, which is 43 mm. I am going to calculate, as I have selected the maximum pin diameter, which is 43 mm. I am going to calculate the remaining dimensions according to the empirical relation, which are depend on the diameter of pin. So let us calculate the outer diameter of eye and fork, DO. Okay, here you can see that the outer diameter of eye and fork, it is represented by DO, and DO is 2 times the diameter of pin. Actually it is according to the empirical relation. Okay, so DO will be 86 mm. Okay, so here you can see that the outer diameter, it is having circular shape. Let us calculate the diameter of pin head. Here you can see that the diameter of pin head is represented by the letter D1, and according to the empirical relation, D1 is 1.5 D. Okay, the next is it will be it is actually as per the calculation 64.5 mm. So I have rounded it to the next digit of 65 mm. So the diameter of pin head is, I am going to take it as a 65 mm for the pin of diameter of 43 mm. Okay, next is I am going to check the induced stresses in eye and in fork. Okay, so let us check the induced tensile stress in eye. Okay, so here you can see that after the application of force, there is a possibility of failure of fork at somewhere at here. Okay, so that induced tensile stress is sigma T is equals to P by A. So therefore the calculated area, already we have calculated in the derivation, we have calculated the area is B into DO minus D. B is the thickness and DO minus D is the DO is the actually outside diameter of eye, and D is the inside diameter of eye. It is the diameter of pin also. So let us put the value of P. P is 70,000, B is 42 as per the calculation, DO, which is the outside diameter of eye, it is 86 as per the calculation, and inside diameter of eye and the diameter of pin is 43. So as per calculation, I found that the induced tensile stress. Okay, so after the application of force of 70,000 Newton on the eye, there will be a induced tensile stress of magnitude of 38.76 Newton per mm square. So this is the induced stress, but in the given problem, the permissible or allowable stress in tension is 85 Newton per mm square. Okay, so here you can see that this is the, let me highlight this, this is the value of induced shear stress, and this one is the value of permissible shear stress. Okay, so here induced shear stress is less than the permissible shear stress, so our design is safe. If the induced shear stress, that is sigma T as per the calculation, if it is going to exceed the permissible one, that is 85 Newton per mm square, then our design will not be safe. So as for whatever the selected diameter of pin, the outer diameter of fork, whatever the assumptions are, whatever the according to the empirical relation, whatever the calculations are there, those calculations are correct and the design is safe. Okay, so let us check. So here I am going to select whatever the calculated diameter of pin and diameter of eye. It is preferable because the calculated induced stress is less than the allowable stress, tensile stress. Okay, next is check for stresses in eye. In that I am going to discuss the induced shear stress. So here you can see that after the application of force P of magnitude 70,000 Newton, okay, there is a possibility of shear stress. This piece is it will get tear off outside the eye of the knuckle joint. Okay, so here the approximate area is this is the area which will this is the area, okay, this is the area which will which is actually subjected to shear failure. So I am going to calculate this area. So DO is the outside diameter and D is the inside diameter. So DO by 2 means it is the radius of outer circle and D by 2 is the radius of inner circle. Okay, so DO by 2 minus D by 2, it is actually representing this much amount of, or this is this thickness of the eye. Okay, and similarly the eye is having width of, so this is the width, okay, and the width is, it is B. Okay, so here tau is equals to, here you can see that there is a double shear at here, okay, at this area and at this area there is a double shear failure is there. So that is why the formula is tau is equals to P by 2A. I have multiplied the area by 2. Okay, so here area is B into DO minus D. Okay, so as we have calculated during the design of knuckle joint. Okay, so here value of P is 70,000, D already we have calculated is 42, DO is already we have calculated 86 minus 43. So as per the calculation, the induced shear stress is 38.76 Newton per mm square. But the allowable or permissible shear stress is 86 Newton per mm square. So here you can see that the induced shear stress, this is the induced shear stress for the diameter, for the eye thickness of 42 mm, for the outer diameter of eye of 86 mm, and for the inner diameter of the diameter of pin of 43 mm. The induced shear stress is 38.76 and the permissible or the maximum allowable shear stress is 66. So here you can see that the induced one is less than the permissible or allowable. So our design is safe. Okay, if the induced shear stress is going to exceed the permissible or allowable stress value, then our design will not be safe. Okay, in that case we have to go and check whether the calculated dimensions of eye, that is thickness of eye, outer diameter of eye and inner diameter of eye are correct or not. Okay, so next is checking for stresses in in that I am going to discuss the crushing stresses. Okay, so here already in the video of design of knuckle joint I have discussed that after the application of force P, there will be this portion of knuckle pin, it will be inside the eye. So on this portion there will be a force of magnitude P. Okay, so along the diameter and along the thickness of eye. Okay, so here we are going to calculate the permissible crushing stress for the eye. So for the formula is sigma ck is equals to P divided by BD. BD is the area under crushing, where B is the thickness of eye and D is the diameter. Okay, so we have the value of P, which is 70,000 Newton. Okay, so we have the value of B, which is 42 as per the calculation, and D is 43 mm as per the calculation. So let us calculate sigma ck. So here sigma ck is 38.76. okay, so this is the actually induced crushing stress, and but the permissible crushing stress is here in the problem, the permissible crushing stress is not given. So we are going to assume that permissible crushing stress is equals to permissible tensile stress. Okay, and the permissible tensile stress is actually, it is 85 Newton per mm square. So this is the permissible tensile stress. Okay, and it is also permissible crushing stress. So whatever the induced, this is the induced crushing stress, which is 38.76. obviously it is less than the permissible one. So when the induced crushing stress or induced stress is will be less than the permissible or allowable one, the design is actually safe. Okay, so our design is safe in crushing. Next is, let us check for the induced stresses in fork. So for the fork, let us discuss about the induced tensile stress. So as we have seen that after the application of force P, there is a possibility of failure of fork at here. I have let me highlight this. So at this cross section of fork, there is a possibility of failure. Okay, So we need to calculate this area. So sigma T is equals to P by A. Sigma T is the induced shear stress, P is the applied force, which is 70,000, A is the cross sectional area. So here let us calculate the cross sectional area. For the single eye, area will be DO minus D multiplied by A, and for the double it will be 2A. Okay, so sigma T is equals to P by 2A into DO minus D. Okay, so here we have the value of A, which is we have calculated in the previous slide. With empirical relation, we have the value of DO, which is the outside diameter of eye of fork, and D is the inside diameter of eye of fork, and it is the diameter of pin also. So let us put the value of A, DO and D and P in the equation. So as per the calculation, sigma T, that is induced tensile stress, it is 32.55 Newton per mm square, and allowable permissible tensile stress is stress in tension is 85 Newton per mm square. So here the induced tensile stress, this is the induced and this is the permissible. So here you can observe that for the whatever the selected diameter of outer diameter of fork, inner diameter of fork, that is diameter of pin, and whatever the thickness of fork, okay, the induced stress is 32.55 and the permissible or the maximum allowable is 85. So here you can see that the induced one is the less than the permissible one, so our design is again safe. Okay, so next is the check for stresses in fork. Okay, so here I'm going to check the induced shear stress in fork. Okay, so here you can see that after the application of force P, there is a possibility of failure of fork in shear along this plane or this portion of the highlighted portion of the fork. It will be tear off, it will get removed from the fork. Okay, so let us calculate the approximate area from this point to this point. We have to calculate the area. So this is the outer diameter. From this point it will be outer radius R is equals to DO by 2 and inner radius R is equals to D by 2. So DO by 2 minus D by 2 is this is the portion, and we have to again consider the width, which is A. For the double fork there will be a 2A. Okay, the formula will be tau is equals to P by A. It will be tau is equals to 2A into bracket DO, P by 2A into bracket DO minus D. So once again I am going to put the value of A, which we have calculated from empirical relation. We have the value of DO, we have the value of D, we have the force, which is 70,000. So we can calculate the induced shear stress. So as per calculation, I found that the induced shear stress is 38.55. Okay, so this is the induced shear stress, and we have the value of permissible stress, which is 66 Newton per mm square. So this one is the permissible, that is maximum allowable shear stress. So for the whatever the dimensions of DO, D and A, the induced stress is less than the permissible one, so our design is safe in shear for the eye. Okay, so like this you have to calculate every dimension and you have to check the dimension whether for the failure of eye and for whether it is safe in shear tension or not. Okay, so next is check for stresses in fork, means I am going to check for the crushing stress also. Okay, so already in the design procedure I have discussed that when a force of magnitude P will be applied on the fork end, there is a possibility of crushing failure, okay, of outside diameter of pin or the inside diameter of hole of that particular fork. Okay, so here the induced crushing stress sigma ck is equals to P divided by 2AD. Okay, here the A is the thickness. This is the thickness of fork. Here I will show. This is the thickness of fork A. Okay, along this direction. So again D is the diameter of pin. Okay, so there will be a double crushing, that is why it is 2AD. So sigma ck is equals to, we have the value of P, which is 70,000. We have the value of thickness, which is 25 mm, and diameter of pin, it is 43 mm as per the calculation. So the induced crushing stress is 32.55 Newton per mm square. Okay, as per the calculation. So here we can see that the induced crushing stress is less than the permissible one. The permissible one is 85 and the induced one is 32.55. So here whatever the dimensions we have designed, that is the thickness 25 mm and diameter of pin 43 mm. Okay, so these dimensions are correct, because our design is safe. So here the induced stress is less than the permissible one, so our design is safe. Okay, so like this, for the calculated dimensions we have to go for the check for the stresses induced in I and 4. Okay, for the tension, shear and crushing. Okay, thank you.